Eivor.
I want to see the Alliance map. What of Essex?
We received a summons from the Elderman and his Lady of Colchester, requesting you specifically for a matter of great secrecy.
Foreboding. And who is this Elderman? One of King Alfred's lackeys.
According to my scouts, he is a man who cares more for his own indulgences than the safety of his people. Approach with care.
I will leave at once.
An alliance in Essex would be invaluable, but go with caution.
Välkommen after, styrman.
To the waves! Need to row our way out. Sing us a song. Is there a seaskull among you?
The last time we were docked, I saw two drunk-ass Odin warriors take a tinkle of this great river steam. You know who you are, both of you. No need to raise your hand.
Sail!
But did you know, I saw your water stain the sides of this ship. Such a dishonor to so loyal a steed. Do you realize how many trees had to die for us to use them as our vessel? A longship is 100 horses that mated with sacred fish. Gudrun and Gudmund are like the bloody elves of Asgard. You dare desecrate this scourge of the Swan Roads, this fire spouter to the bowels of England. You should lick these benches, caress the masthead, thank the sails, make offerings to the hull. This is our home upon the waves. Hail to our river king, wave walker and loyal servant. I think I have said enough. Let it never happen again.
Let's hear a story.
A story from my youth. This one has no lesson to be learned or message to be gleaned. Often my father liked to take me on hunts in the forested lands east of Avaldsnes. I loved these solitary times with him. I had never felled a beast myself, and my father saw that this upset me. I was only a boy, but I had the dreams of being a man. So one winter, my father asked me to perform a bargaining ritual to the goddess Skadi to improve his bow skill and snow sight. With glee warming my heart, I cut a hair and sacrificed it to the goddess, asking in exchange of skill and sight for my father. When the ritual was done, my father and I set off into the forest. We hunted all day until night fell, and we slew no game. That night, around the fire, I was sullen. My sacrifice had not been heeded, yet seeing my sad face, my father only smiled. Had you been hunting, he said, you would have killed 6 fine deer. For Skadi hears only those who speak to her.
Who'll share a tale?
There was a tale of the man I was to crown king before Oswald. Athelred, he was called. It was just before you came, Abel. Rued's man had made a spectacle of the poor man, a Christian priest, and a drunken one at that. His veins ran with mead. But he had guts, bolstered by his Bible in one hand, Alehorn in the other. If Oswald bound the people with faith in each other, Athelred bound them with the love of God. His piety verged on fanaticism. In time, I learned that Athelred had a following. Reverent men who feared nothing and embraced death in service of their god. More and more joined him as East Anglia plunged deeper into despair. Emboldened, he sought to purge the lands of Rued's clan. I counseled him as best I could. His faith in God emboldened him. His courage rivaled Rued's, but it was all he had. No combat experience, no trained warriors, just sacks of meat falling apart. Athelred was butchered.
Let
along
the
with
sail
his
out!
When I was 11 winters old, I was the youngest of my favorite cousins. A wild and rowdy bunch of boys and girls. Together with our parents, we attended a feast at the home of Halfdan the Black of the House of Yngling. To toughen our patience, our parents set us with the old woman, who ordered us to bake flatbreads and serve it to the noble jarls. After an hour, the flatbreads piled so high into pillars, you could have built a roof over it and called it a longhouse. When our work was done, an older boy, Guthrod, suggested we steal a keg of mead and drown in happiness for our good work. So Guthrod, Mikkel and Åsa snuck into the storeroom and stole a barrel as I stood watch. But when we were spotted, I froze. 3 of Harald's men stopped us. They struck Guthrod and Mikkel and pushed Åsa to the ground. Whose idea was this? They asked. I stood
Go! Get the murdering dog!
During my time in East Anglia, Athelred, the king that lived for a brief time before Oswald, asked his...
Hush now.
Pathetic!
Let's sail!
My God! What's got into you?
If they see me, this will get messy.
Why is my cup empty? Perhaps because you have drunk the barrel dry?
Damn beer stand.
His household is as poorly run as his lands.
Estrid is a good wife. Far better than he deserves.
You would say that, Adrian. Your wife acts like a sow in a skirt.
My sweater rider's a worthy woman, you coxcomb. But she's an excellent cook.
With a fine nose for truffles.
If Birston does not return soon, wine will not be the only thing spilled upon his floors.
Now, gentlemen, everyone is fractious with this waiting. Let us be civil at least.
Bilstenstains disrespect you, lady.
You! Gods will come at one cry from me!
Sheathe your blade, lady. I am Eivor of the Raven clan, here at your husband's request.
Another Dane. I am Estrid, wife of the Lord of Essex. As you may have heard, my lord is not at home.
I am weary of rounding up Saxons. Is your husband stolen, drunk, or wayward?
He'll be stalking the woodlands today, hunting game and ignoring the vital affairs of Essex. One such affair is why we called for you.
If I can find him, I will remind him of his duties.
Ah, such would be a miracle. His favorite haunt is southwest of here. The lavender fields there attract the prey, God help him.
With luck he hasn't been eaten, but I will return either way.
Patience is a godly virtue, Adred.
Even the saints were tired of waiting for
It
this.
seems Ealdorman Birston has made this ruin his longhouse.
Det är för en sjöjan asken on Platon. Ge från faith, där varje don goda. Finns det jag varje glädres.
God elning och
Birston!
Ready your...
Where was I? Ready your weapon, or accept your fate as a feast for bears. Do not let them charge you. You have savaged enough men with this beast. It's blood coursing. Well fought. I would not have survived this ambush without you. You have my gratitude to stumble upon me in my moment of greatest peril. Perhaps you were God sent.
I am Estrid sent. Your wife and the Thanes of Essex both want your balls on a blacksmith's anvil.
When do they not? You could return and report that the savage Claw took me. Poor Beerstan, his exit pursued by a bear.
And make the beast Lord of Essex in your stead.
No doubt my Estrid would prefer his velvet paws to my calloused hands. So, who are you? A sellsword?
I am Eivor of the Raven Clan. You hinted at an alliance for the loan of my unique talents.
Blood, yes. Let us return to Colchester at once, and we'll speak more of the delicate matter on my mind. I'm glad you answered my summons. I did not expect such a skilled fighter.
It's good I came when I did.
Now then, what was I saying?
It's good I came when I did. You lost many men on this hunt.
Good men, all. They will have the proper rights, and their families will be cared for.
Your people sacrificed much for your sport.
They did. There is no balm for my tortured heart.
Why did you ask me here?
Do you believe in true love, Eivor?
I have loved.
But have you truly? Has a longing burned in your breast, a sweet, lingering pain, paralyzing you with its sting?
There is pain enough in battle. I do not seek it out in love.
I long for it. The thrill of a fight softly won. My wife Estrid lacks fire. She is a fish out of water, cold and dead.
She showed great passion when I met her, keeping your things in check.
Oh, they love her, it is true. Some with too much devotion. And I have not been a good and attentive husband. I have always been a plucked goose in
Better be hooded.
this poor ruler to boot.
Strong must be the hand that steers the ship, Beeston.
My hand would rather tug the catgut of a well-crafted bow. My eyes narrowing at the sight of prey.
Aye, a crown sits heavy on the head.
Then let us run wild and free in the woods as the wolves do. Live on our wits, prowl and stalk and feast.
You have a romantic way about you, Beeston.
Do not fret. My guards will not worry you when we are together.
You must mark me if you think I'm capable of worry. Have you built your city in the ruins of another?
No, these builders are lost to the annals of time. Far advanced of the Saxon hovels of Wattle and Daub. I have ambition to build a great palace myself, with mosaics and balmy courtyards.
What stops you?
That which stops all but the most creative minds. Coin, imagination, talent.
And your people? Is Essex happy?
That is a question I never really ponder. I suppose they are. I hope they are. Alfred believes I rule like a chickless hen, flapping and squawking over nothing but the farmer's dinner.
He interferes.
No, he disapproves. Is that not infinitely worse? But look, we are nearing my hall. I must face the wolves at my door before we discuss your favor to Essex, Eivor.
It may be I can...
Ready to help me fend off the spears of their displeasure?
Let them speak their woes. I'll advise you if I can.
Who is this owl, Beerston, that twitters in your ear?
An advisor, nothing more. Here to help Essex navigate her brewing storms. Now, my dear brethren, Adrid, perhaps you will start us off. What troubles you?
You're a disgrace, Beerstan. Couldn't get a sow pissed in an alehouse. Alfred's men are crawling all over Essex.
King Alfred, yes. Though it is within his right, the constant presence of his men is certainly an issue.
Are they men or babes? If Alfred meddles in the affairs of Essex, send his men home in shrouds.
Ah, we should challenge his right to rule. Was not Essex once a thriving kingdom of its own? We should fight, yes, fight! And you, Wyatt, what do you say?
Your preparations for the Lammas festival. How can you think of spending so much coin when your people are starving?
He should put his own ham-fist in his purse and contribute coin to the festival.
Yes. You worry about the cost of such a festival? One that thanks God for our great harvest? Contribute your own coin, then. And Aldrich, do you yap like a she-hound as Adred does?
You know my thoughts, Bearston. The feared. How can we give men to Alfred for his wars when our harvest suffers day by day?
Refuse to send your men. Let Alfred's people die for his hopeless cause against the Norse.
Then we refuse.
Refuse our king? Has madness taken your wits, Bearston?
There. Have I not answered all your questions?
You are a stain on this Shire, Bearstan. Useless.
Useless?
That's right. Yet still you haunt my hall. Be gone. I haven't time for your squabbling. That ceased their prattling. A fine outcome, Eivor. The very soul of balance.
A firm hand is all you need, Björsten. Whether on your hunting bow or on your helm.
All this talk of hunting makes me long for the woods.
Your wife awaits, Björsten. Are you not worried some other man will drench your sheets with his sweat?
Ha! She does as she must. As do I. But you will discover this soon.
You have done the impossible, Dane. Returned my errant gander to his coop.
My pettish love. Such a stormy countenance clouds the sun of my return.
Your thanes drank the ale the abbot gifted us. All of it.
Now that is a tragedy my heart will not easily overcome.
If he looked at me with the same affection he shows for hunting deer, our marriage might have survived.
I noticed your love has gone sour. Was it fresher than this?
There is so little difference between love and hate. It's difficult to say where the sourness comes from.
So, what do you need of me?
Our affairs are more of heart than of state, Eivor. What little passion there was between us faded into bickering long ago.
We would have our freedom, Eivor. I from my wife, and my wife from Essex.
I am too sharp a weapon for so soft a task. Why not part and be done with it?
Oh, were I a Dane, and divorce as simple as a slit throat. But it's not so easy as that.
Does your god not allow husbands and wives to part?
Our god? Our king? There is much standing in the way of a joyous uncoupling. Ours was an arranged marriage, a political need, and not easily broken.
Explain yourselves clear and plain, and I will do it. The poetry here is mind mud.
We had a plan, a simple plan. A woman lost and a woman found.
Some time ago, we paid a Dane to kidnap me and ferry me safely to Francia. As you can see, he did not deliver.
He was certainly thorough in other regards.
Some Norse can be quick to take coin and slow to earn it. If I give my word, it is not broken.
Could we try the kidnap again? Much of the planning is done. It would only take a more trustworthy overseer.
It should be a bold venture if we do. Loud and brash and seen by all.
During our Llamas festival, merry peasants and guards with wandering eyes.
Your return to Francia would need a swift ship, with a captain ready to leave England.
We could ask him.
I would have thought his steed and seamen spent.
Come find me in the market, Eivor. Our unwelcome guests require food and ale to soften their anger.
My wife is a gracious and attentive host, Eivor. The only thing that keeps my braying thanes at bay.
And the woman found?
A darling Maybud, Alvida, my childhood sweetheart. I left her 20 years ago in Malden to marry my prickled pear.
20 years? Can an ember so cold be reignited?
We can hope. You must fan the flame. Find her, bring her to my lakeside cottage, and light a bonfire there. I will know to come. I believe she lived in the last house in Malden. A small, sweet place where fond memories were made.
I will do as you both ask, and ask Freya for success in this love game.
Good luck in your endeavors, Eivor. I pray you find my Alvida with a fair face and a yearning heart.
Now, should I look for Alvida first? Or meet with Estrid at the marketplace.